because 9 year olds are so dumb. I didn't realize that what had happened to me, it was a catastrophe. The lady in the casket is a lady that used to make sandwiches. And I saw a dead person before I saw a cock. And that's
Before you
not
saw what?
a cock.
Like a penis?
And yes, and that's not supposed to be the way in nature it happens. You're supposed to see a cock first, and then your parents die. But she died from cancer.
Oh, the cock died from cancer, or she
The,
died?
the mother died from cancer.
Okay, here's what I want you to tell the story of. Let me think. Stories are important to put down on video. So I'm recording you right now, and you have a microphone right here,
Right?
and now we can hear you really nice. And so I want you to tell me the story. What's a story that I always enjoyed? You know, tell me the story in detail of when you got drafted and how you got drafted, and then you had a story of where you went down to the drafting place and they screwed you over.
Oh,
But do you remember, and where did you live? So where did you live when you got drafted? What year was it, and where did you get drafted?
the year was 66, 1966. It was 2 years after I got married.
And you guys lived here, right?
Yeah, we were living on Long Street. I forget the address, but it was a block away from Lake Street, going south.
It was in Oak Park.
Yeah, it was right across from Austin High School,
Okay.
which used to be a white school. And then on the other side of the high school was, I think it was a Sabor store.
Okay. And you lived in an apartment?
Yes,
And what did you work at Brock's?
yes. And I used to walk home at night. I used to work on from 3 to 11, something like that. And then I used to walk home at night. And Gloria sometimes would go meet me. That meant that she would walk from, it was really, it was Long Avenue, but I forget the other street. It was a big street where all the commerce and all the stores were. And then it was Cicero. And Brock's had the parking lot facing Cicero. And then behind the parking lot was the building for the candy was made.
Mm.
So,
So you could walk all the way home and back.
yeah.
And how did the draft people know that you lived here?
I had to register. I went to El Paso, and then I told them that I was going to school. I was going to Ray Vaughan, and then they said, well, they won't do because it's in a college. It's the school where you learn a profession. So I took a chance, and then I got a letter saying report to someplace in Jackson where they used to make Flosham shoes. Flosham had moved, and we went in through the workers' entrance.
So Florsheim, I'm trying to think. Was it right across from Union Station?
I think a block away or something.
Okay. But so you went to school at Ray Vogue,
Yes, on Michigan Avenue.
and that was a photography school.
Well, it was I was trying to get into window display because you could do window display. Every store had window display service, and I was trying to do that.
Okay.
And I got the notice report to such and such a place on such a date, the 14th of October, 1966. But before that, I went to Oak Park and registered for the resort. And I filled in all the papers, and I was registered there. And then I was supposed to go to the Flosham place and get a signature saying that they will let me go. And then when I got over to Flosham, they said, well, the guy that signed this papers is not here yet. He won't be here till 9. And it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
Gloria and I got on the train on Cicero, on I forget the street where we used to get the train, the lake train. And then when I got over to Jackson, I got off because she was working at Palmer House, right around the corner. And then I got off and I told her, I'll see you tonight. And I went over to the place with my papers and I told them, listen, I have to get a signature on this paper so that I can get let go from being drafted and I can join the reserve. And they said, well, go through the process and then at 9 o'clock, come down and then get the signature. But it was such a place where if you went up, you couldn't come down. If you went in, you couldn't get out. It was made in such a way that it was only one exit and one entrance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it was made because it used to be the employees' entrance.
Oh.
And by the time by the time I was 9, I had already sworn in and everything.
Shit.
And then they were checking me out, and the guy says, "Wait." The doctor that was checking my eye says, "Wait, this guy has a slow eye." Another guy came and he says, "No, he's all right." Even if I had a slow eye, they said, "Just let him go."
Wow.
So I got drafted, and I called Gloria. It was already about 5, and I said, "Gloria, I'm not gonna go home. I'm gonna end up in Fort Campbell." And I had to take the train. And then when they took it to the station to take a train, and we had to wait a while. And there was a guy in the train station looking for guys. And he says, "Okay, you and you and you, get over there. You're gonna be in the Marines."
Oh.
He had to fill a quota, so
Right.
we went over and got them.
And you weren't one of those guys.
No, he was the people in front of me. And then we got on the train, and then we went. All the people that were in my train were from Chicago, so it wasn't that bad. And then we got to
How old were you?
24.
So you were older than most of the guys.
Yes,
By like a lot. They were all a bunch of 18 and 19.
yes, the high school kids.
High school kids.
Yeah. And
Were they all different races, or were they mostly like white kids, black kids, Hispanic kids, or what?
Everybody that with me in that group were mostly white kids.
Mm.
And then I didn't see a single black. And I don't know Latins. And then we ended up in some barracks. And then we went to register, and when they give you your numbers, and they gave me, I remember the guy that was before me. My number ended in 95, and he said it'd be 94. 294 was the last 3 digits. And he was, I forget his name now. And then from there, you had to fill some forms, and I put that I was bilingual.
Mm.
And because I was bilingual, I was set back. They were going to give me a quiz of some kind. And then when I was set back, all the other kids went over to the barracks. And when they graduated, it was the best in everything, because everything was from Chicago, so they were friends, and they were doing everything well, so they could get out of it. And they came out best in the battalion.
Mm.
And me, they put in another group. They came in later, and they were nothing but hillbillies.
Mm.
A few blacks.
Oh, hold on. I want to ask you about your basic training next. Let me see how this came out.